The father's hate-filled fundamentalist beliefs concern the court. Mother awarded decision-making power over kids' religion. It's not unheard of for parents to have different views on certain issues, especially the contentious issues. These include politics and religion. What happens when those same parents separate in divorce? And if both parents hold their distinct views with equal fervor, who gets to decide what's best for their children? This is an issue involving a recent BC case where parents separated. They had joint custody, but the children were living primarily with their mother. The parents were both of Christian faith. However, the father held fundamentalist Baptist beliefs, which included extreme views and a highly literal interpretation of the Bible. The court described the mother's evidence on this point as follows. She testified that she was a practicing Christian during the first part of the marriage. The father and her shared similar religious views and interpretations of Scripture. They attended the same church. In or around 2015, the father began to watch online videos of Reverend Anderson and Pastor Roger Jiminez, who are American Fundamentalist Baptists and have extreme views on such issues as abortion, homosexuality, and the Holocaust. The mother states that the father asked her to view the videos. She watched one of Reverend Anderson's sermons and she found his teachings to be hateful. The father began to attend a different church than the mother. She states that she and the father began to argue about religion and they ultimately separated. The mother went on to describe the father's beliefs, which she admitted were hateful, included the principle that a wife has a duty to obey her husband, and that women should not speak or teach in church. He also believed that there is a link between homosexuality and pedophilia, and that in all cases homosexuals should be put to death. Since their separation, the mother took issue, especially with the father indoctrinating the children with these extreme views, and this developed into friction between them. She told the court that the father frequently chose to use his parenting time to instruct the children on the Bible. The father, who positioned the dispute as an attack on his fundamental right to religious freedom, ultimately applied to the court. He asked for an order granting him the right to have sole decision-making authority over the children and the topic of their religious instruction and upbringing. While the court made a point to state that the father had the right to practice the religion of his choice, it noted that the best interests of the children were the guiding factor in its decision. It refused to grant the father's request and prefaced the order with the following words. The father believes it is his duty to teach children Scripture and the Bible. He testified he will not compromise on this point and is very candid when he states he will not comply with a court order prohibiting him from teaching the Bible to his children during his parenting time. The court accepts that the father takes the position based on the view of his obligations as a father as set out by God, and not only because of a desire to willfully disobey a court order. The father has chosen to live a life based on his interpretation of the Bible. With that in mind, the court concluded the father's fundamentalist religion engendered many antisocial and hate-filled teachings, and they would be harmful to the children if they were exposed to or indoctrinated into it. It was also likely to confuse them at a young age of development. The court added that it would be a concern for the children's physical, psychological, and emotional safety and security if the father were allowed to continue instructing them on his religious beliefs. As such, The court granted sole decision-making authority over the children's religious and spiritual upbringing to the mother. What do you think? Did the court get it right in this decision? You can like and share this video. You can subscribe by tapping the bell below to our future videos. You can comment in the comment box below. We're going to endeavor to answer everybody's questions at the end of each week. Until next time, I'm Russell Alexander.